Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls.
Yeah. And we gone.
We live. We gone. We gone. And we live. Want to send a rest in peace to Prodigy, man.
Yeah, man. Rest in peace, Prodigy. Brother, this one hurt, man. This one hurt for real. I grew up on y'all shit. I grew up on this shit.
A lot of people did. A lot, you know.
I still remember when I got the second album. Was it Hell on Earth? It wasn't Hell on. What's the one before Hell on Earth? It's the one with Godfather Part 3. Yo, I was on a school trip. If I'm not mistaken, I might have been in the 11th grade. And all I know is we was going from Chelsea. We was going to fucking to that whack ass theater on Broadway to watch that Leonardo DiCaprio Macbeth.
It was Hell on Earth.
It was Hell on Earth, right? Yeah. And I remember throwing the headphones on in the movie and losing my mind in silence. Like, I'm looking around at people not watching the movie, listening, and that shit was the illest shit I ever heard in my life. I never forget that day. That was one of the illest days of hip hop when that album dropped. And they was already banging before then.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But
like such a classic, distinct sound, and I don't know, like Prodigy. A lot of it was just the realism and the perspective that he brought to it, and you know, so ahead of his time as far as like even dropping gems about Illuminati or whatever it was, and just, you know, you knew he was an intelligent cat, even though he also came off as this like shoot 'em up, bang bang, you know, guy.
Like he'd punch you in your face.
Yeah, yo. Sometimes like I would listen to the Mobb Deep album for like I get to like the 15th track and be like, damn, bro, like this is a little too tough for me right now.
Yeah. Like, am I okay? Can I listen to this?
all of their
I just said
shit
to
is
myself,
like that.
like, do I
have
want
to
to shoot someone in the
someone
face right now?
Yeah.
Do I gotta catch a body right now?
Right.
I gotta walk out in the
And that's what
suburbs
they
and
do.
body someone and snuff you in the face?
Yo, Shook Ones is one of the hardest tracks of all time.
All time.
Yeah.
Easily.
That shit drops.
But I forgot what album it was too. Maybe it was the Infamy, when it was like they made that love song, and even that was thug as fuck. And I was like, damn, these dudes are just
Yo, even
the
their
furthest
pop
thing from
songs,
soft.
their crossovers. I was just saying that earlier today with somebody. I'm like,
Like-
even they never sacrificed or cut anything away from who they were.
Nah, not at all.
Every fucking song was thug. Even the love song.
Yeah.
They might say some shit like, I put my gun down before I make love.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly. That should be wild.
I gotta go
like,
see my PO first before I come.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
That should be, yeah, man.
That should be gangster. And just real quick, Havoc, to me, top 3, definitely top 5 greatest MC producers of all time.
Oh, for sure.
Oh,
Havoc?
hell
For
yeah.
sure. So
Yeah.
overlooked.
Like, he's better than Dre
Yeah.
on the rapping part.
Oh,
As far as
on the
comedy.
rap.
You're talking about duo? Yeah.
Someone that's been able to do both.
We actually had that question once on the speed round. Who's the best rapper producer? And no one said that yet.
He's up there. He's in my top 3.
He definitely might be.
Yeah. Just because of
Shit,
his rhyme is crazy.
And then the beats he did
And
for
he's
other
writing them
people.
shit too.
and
He
the
writing the
beats,
rhymes and he
man.
making the beats.
That's what I'm saying. And,
You know
and
what I'm
like
saying?
he was saying, like the Mobb Deep sound
beats
is such
crazy.
their sound.
And even, and this is the thing,
puts
like,
you there.
when you
It
go
was
back to the first albums,
So like,
with the heavy samples, and then the later albums with no samples, but
Right.
it still has that same feeling to it.
You know
Yeah.
what it is?
know
They
what I'm
are. They didn't. I don't think they knew it, but probably now they're like originals of like the genre called like horror rap, like you know, rap. There's rap genre called like horrorcore, or some shit like that, where like dudes
Yeah.
are just rapping about like blood and just like death and all that shit. But like all their beats sound like it was some Halloween shit, like someone's about to die.
yeah.
I'm just saying, it set a mood.
It's
That's my
definitely
point.
legendary.
No,
shit,
definitely.
man.
It puts you in the mood, bro. It puts you there.
Havoc has mastered that shit, man.
Yeah. No, he did.
Yeah.
100%. Like, he took you there. Like, with the feel. And even this stuff that we listen to right now in the background, like when they had Kanye produced tracks, when they had Alchemist produced tracks,
Alchemist.
it fit. It wasn't like, oh, we hopping on a
Alchemist
Kanye
was
beat.
like
It's like,
really great for them.
it was like Alchemist and Kanye coming to do some Mobb Deep shit. It wasn't like, I don't know if that makes sense.
No, it does.
Yeah.
It was like they made a Mobb Deep beat
Yeah.
instead of them rapping over a Kanye beat or them
Yeah.
rocking, you know.
So tough, man. And
that's crazy.
it's hard to put a finger on it because it wasn't even necessarily like his flow or his punchlines, because that was all like cool, like standard and regular. It was just some of the stuff he would say, like, you know what I mean? Something that would just add to the feeling of that beat and that aura that it brought you and just take you there.
And you know what? He was a fantastic storyteller. I've been listening to all that shit
rap
like the last
lost
couple days.
A lot of that.
Or the last day. Fantastic storyteller. I mean, he tell a certain type of story.
And sometimes like you forget how important that was.
Yeah.
Like to bring you there, to bring you places in rap. And Saturday night, I remember I didn't really want to go out, but I wound up going out, drinking beers late at night, and showing my boy, and like some Nas shit came on, one of Nas albums, and he was just like, yo, like, listen to this, like, you're there with him kind of right now. Like, you don't really get that element a lot no more.
That's over.
Like, that's a loss.
You got
A lot of the
MCs,
rappers, they don't have enough.
You got a few rappers.
That's tough. That's tough to pull off, man.
There's only two of them that's doing it right now that are mainstream.
Yeah.
J. Cole and Kendrick.
Yeah, it's mainstream.
But vividly like that. Sometimes
Right, it's not even on that same level as some of that other shit.
It's not even.
I feel like
when-
Prodigy. Okay.
No, my bad. I mean, like when they mention things about, whether it be fashion or jumping out of this, jumping out of that, it would just be added details to a story, I feel like, and it really brought you there, and it like added to the lifestyle where everything's now just materialistic to be materialistic.
That was a big thing in the 90s, man. If you would have watched an old episode of Video Music Box,
Right.
it's just like a long hour of hood tales.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, my mind played a trick on me.
Yeah.
You watch that video, and then it's like the next video, like, you know what I'm saying? And it's all a bunch of story. Then Gin and Juice come on or something, and then that's a story.
Right,
You in the hood
right,
with him,
right,
and then it's the next one, and the next
yeah.
one. And at that time, that's just what it was, man. That's what people... That's what the video... That was the movie.
Right.
Now it's the image.
We get that.
it's the
We get
women.
that through the visual now, where it's like they had to create that through music, and now we're gonna give you that through the video.
It's like
and
difference
through
between
Instagram
TV
and through
and
everything, because everything is so much more visual. And it's I remember Tribe said something about videos, and they were like, "Yo, we don't even like to make too many videos sometimes because everyone's views the song in a different way, and when you see a video, it's kind of giving you what it's like. Oh man, that's kind of what it looked like, or not to disappoint you all the time, but
It's the difference between a
it's
book and a
telling
movie.
you exactly.
It can make you love a song
That was a perfect way to put it.
that you never listen to twice.
Right.
Because I see a video for something, and then it's like, oh, that shit makes sense now.
Yeah.
And then it's because even think, a lot of the songs follow today's slang. So for somebody like my grandmother, she don't know what the fuck they talking about when they skit and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? But if she watched the videos, I'm sure she'd be disgusted. However, when they say these certain things and you see what's there, I mean, help a little bit with transparency and.
Yeah.
I mean, videos are everything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Videos are everything when it comes to music. The visuals are,
It is.
I felt like
That
with
kind of
Prodigy.
fell off music videos now. I haven't watched a music video, and I can't tell you how long.
But
You know what I mean?
I don't think the music videos fell off. I think it's become a lot easier for people to make
Make 'em,
videos,
yeah.
and everybody's a video director now.
Yeah.
But nobody really has that.
No one has a fucking budget like they had back in those days.
oh
But you wanna
yeah,
know
they were
something?
making movies.
The
They had-
budget,
that's what I'm saying.
in my opinion, the budget is what destroyed the art in the video. When you know what?
Why
when
you
you
say
want to
that?
make the best quality
Because
of work,
Kendrick's
with what
videos
you
are great.
have.
Kendrick's videos are great, and I guarantee you his budget is not cheap on those videos. Especially like the editing and shit. Like
this is true, but Kendrick, I mean, I guess you could say Kendrick videos were great back then too. I personally feel like without a
They're definitely
budget,
different.
without a budget is when you create your usual suspects. Is when you create your, you know what I'm saying? Your classic shit of all time. You know what I mean? When you have to use what you have
but all those videos,
to be creative.
I definitely agree with you.
You know what I'm saying? And even with the music, I feel like it's the same way.
But all those videos back in the 90s, they had crazy budgets. They had to.
And when the budgets went up, the video quality went down. It turned into tricks. helicopters.
I don't know. I love Busta Rhymes videos.
Shit, some of them shits is way too classic though.
Like Busta Rhymes videos was crazy.
All the Hype William videos.
Yeah.
They went above and beyond to pull those things
That turned the
off.
song into a
Big
party.
Pimpin'.
Yeah.
Versus
Like,
It made them seem larger than life.
yeah.
Where it's cool where we get to know people on an intimate level, and that's cool. But like rap videos, look at the majority of rap videos. It's just regular.
It's just people with smoking weed.
Yeah.
They got a half naked bitch or two, and they
Like
may
Busta
may
Rhymes-
show some guns. That's
Busta Rhymes
the
with
videos
elephants
nowadays.
and shit, and foreign indigenous globe people. Like
Redoing fucking Coming to America and shit.
yo, like things that, and like he's literally coming off comical and different shapes and forms. It's like,
Yeah.
yo, who, like, this dude is a character.
Yeah.
Like what? That's a rapper. Like like a rapper was kind of something else.
You know who's got a great video new? Or it's not a new video, but newer artist, Childish Gambino. You seen that video for Sweatpants?
Oh, he's always a beast with his videos. By
But
the
you
way.
know
he's
what?
a beast
Like
in
okay, I
general.
give you a prime example.
He brings
of
the
what I mean.
creativity back to that shit.
Um,
I did not see that though yet.
Tyler the Creator's first video.
He's another
Oh,
one.
Yonkers.
What do you think the budget was for that shit?
Not a lot.
Not a lot at all.
I know
Was
what
that the
I know what
illest
he's on.
video that
That
year?
was a
Yep.
ill video.
You,
By
you see what
far.
I'm saying? And
By far.
I feel like when shit is made like Reservoir Dogs.
I know. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's just
Yeah.
kind of like when I just
It
I
has
think
to be
takes
good
the
'cause it has to be based
creativity
on a
away.
story. Yeah.
Because now you're trying to figure out how to spend this budget and make it. I'm gonna make it so.
Yeah, but you can
Grand.
get. I definitely hear what you're saying because it forces you to be creative. But when you have a budget, like a crazy budget, there is no halt to creativity. Because now you just like, all right, now I can do whatever I want. I got the biggest canvas here. I could fucking throw paint here, and if it don't work, fuck it. I'm doing all this shit. So
Right.
like, I definitely dig what you're saying because that's where hip hop comes from. You don't have shit, so you make
Something
know,
out of
the
nothing.
exactly. You know what I mean? So like, it's a double-edged sword because all those videos in the '90s, especially coming off major labels like that, they all had big budgets.
Yeah.
They all did.
Yeah.
Now it's the smaller budgets because I don't even think people are watching videos like that.
What
People are
just
just
happened?
putting on their shit on YouTube and letting it play.
The budgets,
That's really
the
what they're
huge
doing.
budgets in hip hop, really came. Really came around 97 ish. Is when they started. By the time you get to 99, that's the Hype William explosion. 2001. That's when the budgets went crazy, and the videos turned into a bunch of colors and flashing lights and expensive whips.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And Danica Patrick shooting down a fucking. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what the videos turned into, right?
Yeah.
Before that, rap people didn't really. What they did was, the story goes as they skimmed the budgets.
Right.
They gave. It was a story that I believe it was Dame Dash told on Drink Champs of how they gave Mariah a huge budget and they gave Nori like 35 grand when Nori had the biggest record out at that time.
Wow.
But Nori didn't know he accepted the 35 and he
Right.
didn't know that Mariah had 150
Right.
at the same time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And this is what they did to rap. And this is what was happening until the hype era. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And it all exploded
MC
with
Hammer
it all
had
came with the
huge budgets.
But MC, yeah, that's true.
He probably used his own money.
In
though.
91, Too Legit to Quit, 2.5 million.
But MC Hammer also had worldwide hit records. He was a pop star.
Yeah,
considered
yeah.
a rapper by a quote, a rapper. But he was a pop dude.
Right.
Oh yeah,
You know what I'm saying? From the very
yeah,
beginning,
yeah.
Hammer wasn't.
That's what I'm saying.
Hip hop. You see,
He's an entertainer.
it was entertaining. It was different.
Crazy.
These budgets are crazy.
And we trying to put
Yeah, I'm
shit
looking
together
up.
for like
You
4
looking at a
bucks.
list, top 10 list, most expensive.
NWA
Most expensive music videos in hip hop history.
video. That I seen that. But,
Was Hypnotize one of them?
It has to be.
Oh,
That
no,
shit was like an
Show Me
all-out
What You
film.
Got one of them? Or the one with Kanye and Jay-Z
This is like a video list.
when they was wrecking them whips?
If you guys out there, give us a call, 914-356-8712. Let us know your thoughts on Prodigy, your favorite hip-hop video, or the NBA draft.
Thriller was the most.
Nah, Scream. But Michael Jackson, Scream was. I remember
Scream.
that
Which
shit.
one?
That shit was $7 million.
The crazy shit is I don't even know what happened in that video.
That's the joint with Magic Johnson?
No. You would think that would be it. No, the one where he's outer space with Janet. Because, like, the whole thing was CGI.
Yeah.
You got a call.
We got a call coming in. Caller, are you a baller?
Yo, what's happening? I'm like big baller, like Lonzo Ball.
There you go. What's going on, man?
Lonzo Bald.
Damn, this shit's fucking me up because it's lagging.
Yo, yeah, you gotta turn it off. You gotta mute that.
Yo, what's good, boy?
Ain't nothing. Hey, I'm just calling in because, my man P.
Oh,
passed away yesterday.
Yeah.
And, and y'all was talking about videos. Like, 99 Big Pimpin' video, Jay-Z dropped $1 million on the budget.
Mm-hmm.
So, by, like Moan said, like Nomad said,
Right.
97 is when shit got real crazy. Jay was like, I'm gonna show y'all how to make a video. I'm just gonna spend $1 million, and
Right.
and I think he just like threw some of that away.
Yeah.
And I also feel like, as far as some of the newer rappers, and I'm just gonna go with the big dog, like when Drake started dropping videos, I noticed like this dude wasn't spending nothing on videos. Nothing. Y'all remember his earlier videos? I was like, why don't he?
Bitches on a basketball court.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And
that was like
Kanye
his biggest video.
directed that video.
I remember that.
Because they had good-looking titties in that shit.
But I remember waiting for that. Like, what is this guy gonna be about in the video?
Just think about the simple videos that.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, it still was a simple video.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He probably spent, I don't know, 25. Like, how much was a bunch of jerseys and to rent out a gym?
How much you think he spent for Tiana Taylor to do that one video?
That was Kanye.
Right. Oh, I mean, or Beyonce, Single Ladies.
Yeah.
That's another one.
Well, I think the video revolution. Oh, well, actually, what's the opposite of evolution? I think it went down. Like, I think they stopped just making videos. We still have those people who, who come out and show and prove. That's why Kendrick is making so much noise with his videos. But these are Missy Elliott videos.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Elliott, yeah.
These are videos that, like, he's not breaking any new ground.
Yeah.
They're just, you know what I'm saying? I think people stop making videos, and it's hip hop, and as men, we're visual people.
Yeah.
We're visual people, but I don't think the videos can. F. Gary Gray went on to direct The Negotiator, but he started off making hip hop videos. Hype Williams did Belly. I mean, I think those were the glory days of the music video.
Yeah, for
I don't
sure.
think we're gonna see. I
think it happened slightly after Missy too, like when you had Ludacris videos that were all green screen and you just had a girl twerking.
Ludacris brought it back.
Luda brought it back.
He had some cool, dope-ass videos, too, but he also had
like
videos that were all
midgets hanging
green
from my
screen.
necklace.
Yeah. No, that video was dope. And then you have the other green screen videos was just a girl, just a car, just a rapper, and vice versa.
Yeah, all Ludacris videos were fire. But, I just don't think we're going to see that. I don't think these new guys, I think they just, they SoundClouds, you know what I'm saying? Like, they just pop. And I did like Lil Yachty and, what's the dude? The I Spy. I did like that video, but
is that the one that was cartoon?
Well, it's kind of like they had the little kids, but they had their heads.
Mm-hmm.
I Spy with my little. I don't know. Anyway.
Yo, he got some.
Hey, rest in peace, Prodigy. You know what I'm saying? Keep it thorough. HNIC, Shook Ones Part 2. Just all the bangers. Me and my man Bounty Dino tried to get us to listen to Prodigy's last album, and I didn't even listen to it. I'm definitely gonna go back. He wrote a cookbook called Commissary Kitchen.
Yeah.
Oh, I did see that. Yeah.
Yeah, he said, this book might not make you a better cook, but it'll make you a better person. R.I.P. Prodigy.
Yo, thanks for calling in, man.
Keep it going.
Yeah, thanks for calling, bro.
Appreciate that, man.
Yeah, no problem.
That's just that's a funny line right there. Damn, man. To transition a little bit, bro. Talking about something else that's dead. The Knicks, bro.
R.I.P.
R.I.P.
Bro, are they
what happened? What's the deal?
Porzingis?
What happened with the Knicks?
Are they gonna trade Porzingis?
At
Because
first, I thought it was just NBA journalists taking things a little out of proportion.
Starting a story.
And then I was like, no, this is real. And it's starting to settle down and settle in. And
They
I
about
don't
to
know.
trade
I think
Porzingis?
The price
I don't
tag's
know if
too
he's
high.
definitely going to pull the trigger.
It's too high.
But I think he will if he gets the right offer.
The price is gonna be too high.
It is, but it won't, because if Boston is interested, then that trade will happen. It's up to if Boston is really interested, because then they'll trade. Boston will trade their third pick. They have the third pick now.
Yeah.
For him, and something else like a player or whatever it is, and then we would wind up with the third pick and the 8th pick, and then like Phil will, and the player.
Would you be happy with that?
No, because we don't draft well as it is, and I don't
You already have like Porzingis is a player that
You wanna build around.
Yeah, he could be an all-star.
exactly. He's only 21, bro.
That's what I'm saying. He can be an all-star.
He's improved each year. Like regardless of injury, last year I did see
He's gonna go to another team and shit on the Knicks. That's what happens to every Knicks player
Yeah,
that
they come
leaves.
back and
Don't
Yeah.
come back and shit on him. It goes back to Doug Christie. He went to the fucking Kings.
Yo, that's
and
a
destroyed
fact.
the
Yo, I
Knicks.
love Jips coming up with old school references like that.
Serious, I remember that shit.
Yo, man. That's a fact,
I mean-
man. I'm going to have my boy Jamal call in, who's, big on Twitter with the NBA, big basketball head. And
The Knicks are just. If the Knicks trade Porzingis, I think fans are really gonna have to boycott going to the Garden. They're gonna have to say,
no
"Yo,
one's
look,
going to stop going to the Garden, but what's going to happen?
Nah, dude, that
He's
product's gonna be shit.
Phil is going to
It's gonna be shit. That product.
put the fan
Because
base
Melo
in.
ain't gonna be there.
He's going to alienate himself in New York, bro. People are going to hate him.
They already do.
We already do. Imagine if he trades Porzingis.
That's what I'm saying. Melo's gonna be gone. Porzingis is gone.
Melo's gone. The Melo experiment had failed. If he gets rid of Porzingis, there's going to be nothing
Yo, what are attendance like? What are ticket sales like? Is it like half the bill?
That's the problem. They don't have to worry about ticket sales. They're still the most lucrative franchise
think
in
they-
the NBA.
Are they
And they
really?
suck.
How is that possible?
Because it's New York.
Thank you.
It's New York.
They were valued this last year as the most lucrative franchise.
It's New York though. That's why.
They're in the black, not the red. Wait, they're in the
They're in the green. They're getting money.
Yeah, they're in the green. They're
You got another call.
Yo.
Fellas, what's going on?
What's going on?
What's going on, man? What's going on?
Cooling, man. I'm cooling. I'm just out here chilling, man. Lunch Table Podcast is in the building. What's going on,
There
fellas?
you go, man.
What's up?
Yeah.
Yo, this is Jamal from the Lunch Table Podcast. Also another dope podcast. You guys got to check it out. Also,
Peace, Jamal.
NBA expert on the low. I see you on Twitter doing your thing, man.
I appreciate the love.
Of course, man. And a Knick fan at the end of the day.
That's tough.
die
That's
hard.
tough.
I don't even know how to get into it, but I got to dive into it. What are your thoughts on the draft tomorrow night and just in the thought of trading Porzingis?
I'm gonna put it like this, man. We got a unicorn here, and I think the biggest thing with Porzingis, what he sold me, which was on draft night of last year, was he was pretty much embraced the whole booing. You know what I'm saying? We booed him,
Right.
like completely booed him, and he embraced it. Like I gotta prove to them that I'm willing, I'm worth this pick, and he did more than that. Like he's the corner piece to the franchise right now. Like trading him wouldn't be in our best interest, but what I will say is the way that Phil has treated Melo, that has been a huge turnoff for him. So if he's in the mindset of not wanting to sign back, if he wants to get out of New York, which I wouldn't blame him one bit because it's been a complete mess the way Phil's been handling things. But if he wants to get out, I would say we gotta try to trade him and try to get back like some great things for him. But if it was up to me, there's no way I'm getting KT.
Yeah, I know. I feel the same way, and I think a big part of it is also not just his skill set and not just the fact he's 7'3". Like, it's cool. Like, I like it's like this dude that, could dunk on anyone, shoot threes.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also just, it's his energy, that he brings to the floor. It's the charisma,
The attitude.
it's the personality, the attitude, where it's like he has that, and I think that's an intangible that we can't overlook, and I think that's something that New York has been lacking in a sense, and it's just I feel that's the biggest thing that's really going to be the toughest for me to swallow.
I agree.
But what else, man? What else about? I mean, as far as the NBA, like, do you think? I mean, it's such a general question. You think it's in a good place right now?
Yeah, I mean, I could talk about this all day, bro. You know damn well I could talk about this all day. With the NBA, I think people are a little bit upset that we've gotten the Warriors and the Cavs back to back years, but it's like I think this is about to be the best time that we've ever seen in the NBA with regards to talent and with regards to competition. I think there's going to be a lot of teams that are not just going to roll over and say, okay, they got KD, they got Draymond, Steph, and Clay. We have no chance of beating them. You see a lot of teams are making moves right now. Just being on Twitter, I'm seeing all these rumors. One rumor is saying, the Celtics are trying to trade for Russ. They were offering 2 draft picks in this draft on top of Avery Bradley, who actually has to sign a new contract, and he's going to be expecting a max contract. So I don't think the Celtics want to pay him that. So
Avery Bradley's trying to get a max?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. He's definitely trying to get a max. And
you think
in my opinion,
competition?
I don't think
you think the competition is good? Is that what you're saying? It's about to be good, is what you said?
It's about to be amazing, because I think a lot of teams are gonna. When I say a lot, if you look back in the history of the league, it's really been every single year 3 to maybe 5 teams that are contenders.
Yeah.
So people try to act like, there's not going to be much competition. Every year there's 3 to 5 teams. The last 3 years, the last 4 years, it's been the Cavs or whatever team LeBron is on.
The Spurs.
That's one team. Then you got the Spurs, you got OKC, Warriors, and I guess you can add in the Clippers, but nobody ever believes in that.
It's a wrap for them.
I agree with that, but don't you feel like in the NFL, it's like sometimes
NFL's the same way, though.
No, that's what I meant to say, because at the end of the day, the Patriots win and stuff like that. But at least there's always this craziness in the playoffs, where this year was the first year I watched the playoffs and I wasn't as interested. Like, the only good series that I saw in the playoffs was the Celtics and Washington. Like, that was
no. This year was trash. This year was absolutely trash. Everything in the East Coast, you already knew what was going to happen. It was going to be LeBron at the end.
Right.
That's what you know was going to happen in the East Coast. But in the West Coast, it was a war out there. Like, the Warriors swept through, but it was like, if you really look at it,
but the Spurs
they weren't going to sweep the Spurs. They weren't going to do that.
One game in the whole playoffs. That's crazy.
Yeah,
and they lost one game.
Exactly.
I mean, the other thing is, like, even when Mike was winning all those titles, it's like the playoffs were interesting, though. You know what I mean? It's like I don't know.
Yeah,
I think that
was definitely a different time. It was.
I think the talent. I think you're definitely right about the talent, because I think just younger, kids nowadays are just better athletes.
They are.
They just are.
Technology.
Yeah, whatever it is, the water, whatever it is.
Yeah,
I don't know. They got a new formula in Gatorade or something. Whatever it is.
Fact.
The talent is there, but as far as competition, like, I don't know if I see, especially like I'm hearing like Jimmy Butler's gonna go to the Cavs.
Nah,
like,
I heard rumors. I read a bunch of articles today that said he doesn't even want to go to the Cavs, partly because Cleveland sucks. But in his explanation was that he wanted to build a contender in Chicago. I just think he just thinks Cleveland sucks. That's honestly what I think it is. But I'm gonna break it down to you like this. Okay, the Spurs, Pau Gasol just I guess rescinded his option to take $16 million this year from the Spurs, meaning the Spurs have enough money to get Chris Paul. If the Spurs get Chris Paul, on top of having already Kawhi, who is, in my opinion, going to be the 2018 MVP, favorite that tweet. I'm going to tweet it in a little bit. But, yeah, 2018 MVP Kawhi. And on top of that, you see LaMarcus Aldridge this year. He was absolutely trash. LaMarcus Aldridge is somebody that needs a dynamic point guard. He needs a dynamic point guard to create plays for him. He's a jump shooter. People try to act like in Portland he was this guy that posted up and got buckets. No, he's been shooting jump shots this whole time. But he had Damian Lillard off the screen and roll. Who was a better screen and roll point guard than Chris Paul?
Yeah, nobody. Aldridge also looks out of shape.
Maybe John Wall.
Like they need to whip him into shape. Like Pat Riley, like get in the best shape of your life. Like
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that's gonna happen. I think he's getting older. I think you see age. We see guys like LeBron, 32. He looks like he's 20.
Right.
Like the majority of these guys, like LaMarcus is 30, 32, 33 now. He's getting old, but at the end of the day, he's still a very good jump shooter, and he didn't have a point guard this year that was gonna create for him and get him shots. Kawhi is a great player, but he's not really like a playmaker or creator. That's the other part of the game he has to add this year, which I think he will. But when you have Chris Paul there, not only will LaMarcus get a lot more open shots, you're going to have Kawhi. Kawhi doesn't really get open shots. Kawhi is creating for himself. Nobody creates for Kawhi. Yeah. Now you got Chris Paul coming in that can create for Kawhi, if that actually happens. Now, if you can build that, that's another super team right there. Then you have the Warriors, you have the Spurs. The Spurs can beat them with that team. I don't know if they will, but they can beat them. Then you got the Clippers saying, you know, there's this whole thing going on with David Griffin, the GM for the Cavs, just got fired, and apparently LeBron was a big fan of his. So in my head, I was thinking of this crazy idea where Dan Gilbert's already seen the movie where LeBron leaves and he gets nothing for him.
I was listening to something like that last night where someone saying Dan Gilbert already sees the writing on the wall type of shit.
Yeah, it's over. And then on top of that, Kyrie came out and said publicly, like, yo, if LeBron is leaving, if LeBron's planning to leave, I want to trade. I don't want to be in Cleveland here by myself. Because on top of that, Cleveland fucking sucks. Let's be real. Oh, part of my language.
You can curse,
fellas.
You can say whatever you want.
Cleveland is really a trash city. Like, let's be real about this. Nobody really wants to be in Cleveland. So what happens if Dan Gilbert, you know, sets up a trade to trade LeBron somewhere west? And you got another team in the West that ends up being this powerhouse team. So there's going to be a number of teams. The Celtics have stockpiled picks. They can trade picks
the
to
Celtics
another
are
team.
They're the most interesting team in the league right now because
part
of me feels like
stacked,
if Porzingis is going to be dealt, it might be to the Celtics because, you know, just what they'll do. And also...
Well, I saw... Yeah, go ahead.
Nah, you go.
I saw yesterday. Like, first of all, I saw a couple of things. I saw the Celtics were looking to trade for Russ, and if they did that, they would have Russ. They would have Isaiah Thomas, which is going to be an interesting dynamic. I don't see how that would work out.
I don't think that's good.
Yeah, me neither. I don't think that would work out. But maybe they trade Isaiah Thomas for somebody else. I'm not really sure.
That'd be a lot of movement. Yeah.
Exactly. But they're expecting to get Gordon Hayward. Brad Stevens was his coach in college.
Exactly.
Wow.
So, and I read something that Gordon Hayward is like I don't know how it worked out, but Brad Stevens coached him like way back before he even grew up to be like 6'7", like when he was a young kid, like they knew each other. And,
wow.
Yeah.
I did not know that. Okay.
Utah's a shitty city too, though.
Huh?
Utah's like another shitty city.
Oh, that's probably the worst city to be.
That's what I'm saying. Like, who the fuck wants to play in Utah?
Only thing Cleveland is the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
They were building a squad too. Utah could have did some damage too. They probably got enough money to get another star, but
yeah, they had
like
a
you
nice
just said,
team
who's
going.
trying to go to Utah?
They had a nice team put together this year.
Yeah, but I mean, there's going to be a number of teams that start trading around. You already got. Think about the Pelicans. You got 2 stars there. That could be the next Twin Towers.
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
I don't see how that's going to work. But if you throw a guy like, let's say Chris Paul goes there, now it gets interesting. You know what I'm saying? Now you got a guy who has a dynamic and a dominant personality that's going to say, Boogie, we are trying to win. You can't go into maniac mode, bro. We're trying to win a championship here.
Right. So
you never really know. It's a lot of guys that are moving. I'm also hearing that after trading for offering a trade for Russ, like the Celtics are trying to get Blake as well. So that's another, and they got the money. They don't really have many people signed in for a long period. They got Al Horford, who's on that max deal. Isaiah is willing to forego that $40 million per year max contract he can get because he made an All NBA team. He's saying, "Yo, let's build a team. I'm gonna wait and not take the money right now, so we can actually bring more guys in, so we can actually knock LeBron off." So what if that happens? You got a monster team with the Celtics.
Celtics are definitely in position to build some.
Yeah,
craziness.
They're in position to do whatever they want. They can say, you know what, we're gonna rebuild. They just trade everybody off and just completely rebuild, or they say, you know what, I think they have 9 first round picks in the next 3 drafts. Like, that's absurd.
The Lakers are too.
And they're good now.
And they're good now. I don't understand how it happened that way.
Because if the Lakers get Paul George and then they get Lonzo, then they get Paul George.
I think they got to draft Lonzo, and I think
Yeah,
they still
they
have
will.
they still have enough assets to move and like make a Paul George deal or something like that, and then get LeBron in free agency, and then
I don't
That would be
think.
magic.
Am I the only one that thinks LeBron's staying in Cleveland for the rest of his career?
yeah.
I'm the only one that believes that.
You can
I
only
don't-
sell
I
out
don't
your home
believe
team
it. I don't-
once.
I don't think
How
so.
many times?
He already won the
Here's the
chip.
question.
This is LeBron. He'll leave.
Yeah, exactly. How many times have you guessed correctly what LeBron's gonna do?
True.
But I mean, that's true. Do you think these super teams would happen if it wasn't for Dan Gilbert? Not getting players for him back in Cleveland.
Yeah, it would eventually
Make
happen
it.
somehow, somewhere.
I don't know. You're making a great point right now because if LeBron would have gotten help, like just a little bit of help. Well, I also read somewhere that they were trying to bring in Amari the year that the Cavs got Anton Jameson and to put on LeBron's team, which everybody was like, why did they do that?
Yeah.
Apparently, they were able to get Amari, and for some reason, LeBron didn't want him. That was a rumor that was floating around. I can't imagine anybody not wanting Amari during that time. That
At
was
that
like
time,
Amari's
yeah.
like peak
He
star
made the
time.
right choice.
So,
When he came here for that first season or half a season, he played incredible, man. But
yeah, he was an MVP candidate. He was dominant.
What about the other 4.5 seasons?
yeah,
Yeah.
Did he stay
punching
for
Yeah.
over
fire
5 years?
extinguishers and shit.
It was 5 years his contract, right? Wasn't it?
Something like that.
Yeah, I think it was 5 years.
Did he do
and
the whole
I think it
5,
was
or did
5
he-
years?
Yeah,
He was
here
fucking
for
on the
most of
bench
it.
for like 3.5 years of that shit.
Yeah, that shit was unreal, bro. That shit was
He
unreal.
definitely
In
was,
one season,
man.
it looked like he legit got space jammed of his talents.
Nah, man, that was his knees went straight out.
Yeah. Man. Yo, but to bring it back home, ending with the Knicks too. What do you foresee, or what have you been hearing about Melo, and what is your thoughts about Carmelo Anthony as a basketball player and where he's gonna go here?
I think Melo. And I love Melo, but I don't think Melo, definitely not at this point, can be the guy. He can't be your best player, and he can't be your leader if you're going to try to win a championship.
Absolutely.
The year that the Knicks were at their best, he had Jason Kidd, he had
Yep.
Sheed, he had Tyson Chandler. Those
100%
guys took
agree.
on the role of being the leaders. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
Melo, just go out there and get buckets, bro.
He needs those
and we'll
guys.
handle the rest.
Those guys were so good for him, man. Like that's so
Yeah,
that's so underrated.
definitely.
That's so underrated. But
And I think now, like Melo. I think Melo, not this just past year, the year before, Melo finally, started trusting his teammates and actually passing. And I think it was like maybe 2 years too late because it's just like, bro, now you're passing to really nobody.
exactly.
So it's like, all right, now guys aren't making shots. Now it doesn't really look good. But Melo, if you did that 2-3
It's
years
always
ago,
been that
you
interesting
would.
dynamic to me with Melo and watching Carmelo Anthony, where it's like, bro, just make the right basketball play, like where you see LeBron
Yeah.
James do a lot, but then at the same time, it's like you can't blame him because Landry Fields ain't gonna knock that down. But
Landry Fields.
but
Whoa.
you know what I'm saying, like,
Wow.
but
Yeah, that's a fact. What you're
when
saying
it's
is a fact.
but at the end of the day, you ain't. You still just have to do it and live with it and until you wind up with that right team and that right place.
I don't like the way he was treated in New York.
Nah, he handled
Especially
it like
the last,
Oh
like,
man.
he handled it
this
like a
last
pro.
season was brutal. Like you don't treat somebody like that, especially somebody that
Not at
wants to
all.
be in New York. You want to
Yeah.
play for this shitty franchise? Really?
Yeah. Agreed.
Do you want to be here, dude?
I don't know.
And you're getting treated like shit by Phil Jackson?
He's an enigma, Carmelo Anthony.
I like Carmelo Anthony a lot, and I like him more after dealing with this shit that he dealt with. Dealing with the media.
That's
You
because
know.
you're not a full out Knicks fan. Because like he's just,
I'm not. I'm like a fair.
Like I
weather
like
Knicks
him and
fan,
I
yeah.
don't dislike him. Like at times I'll support him when other people don't, and at other times like when I see Melo lovers, I'm like, nah, man. But you don't like realize. he's killing us.
I
Like,
watch the games. though.
I really
You
really ride
understand?
that fine line in between where it's like I try to call a spade and root for him. Like I'm never hating on
Yeah.
him. I'm never hating on him, but also I'm able to see sometimes when he's hurting us. But
I'm not
Yep.
saying he
I
doesn't
feel the
hurt,
exact same way.
like he's like chucking up stupid shots, not playing great defense and
Yeah.
things like that. But there's also like he's just playing on a team that's horrible.
yeah.
Fact.
So it's like he's sitting there like scratching his head like Dude, I thought the Knicks was gonna be great this year. I really did.
So I know you're not a Knicks fan.
Yo, me too.
See, he did too.
Nah. But hold on. At the beginning of the
Oh, my
season, he was
God.
like, "Yo, I think you guys are going to East Conference Finals. You guys are gonna be like a 2 or 3 seed." I'm
No,
like,
I said top 5 seed, but I
you
did say
edited it and you said like
I said you're definitely
2 or
going to the
3.
Eastern Conference Final.
You said we were gonna be a 2 or 3 seed. I was like, bro, you're not a Knicks fan. I was like, I think we're gonna be good, but I guarantee you we're gonna be like a 6 seed.
On paper,
Yeah,
I
I
was
said
like,
5.
on paper, I was like, wow, like this could be a really good team. I don't think you're gonna beat Cleveland, but it's gonna be a
Even
good
if
team.
things
Nah.
did work out, we would have needed time to gel. Like that whole
Yeah.
shit was just a fucking.
Well, you had 2 ball
Yeah.
hogs, Derrick Rose and Carmelo, 2 ball hogs.
Absolute ball hogs.
Derrick Rose was just, oh my god, like lost on defense on so many plays. I don't even want to talk about it.
You got another call? You want to
Yeah.
add it to the group? or-
Yeah, yo, I need you to come on the podcast live too, man, because I want to talk about music, politics, sports,
For
and
sure,
so many
for
other
sure,
things,
bro.
man.
Let me know, man.
Yo, absolutely, man. And the Lunch Table Podcast, tell them real quick where they can catch you.
Yo, SoundCloud, iTunes at the Lunch Table Podcast. You can find us on Twitter at the Lunch Table PC. You can find me on Twitter at JGilly the Kid. Yo, I'm just here. I talk sports. I talk hip hop. I talk some politics too. You know that. But pleasure having me on the show. I greatly appreciate you guys having me on the show. I could talk basketball all day. Kenny, you know that, bro. But
Indeed.
I appreciate you guys having me on, and I love the show. Keep it going, G's.
Yo, thanks a lot
Take
for
care,
calling,
man.
bro.
All right, yo.
All right, peace.
All right, yeah, the call's on the line.
Yo.
We got another call.
Yo, what up, Gawncast? How you doing?
What's going on, man?
Okay, what up?
Hey, it's Kenny. It's Jack from Phoenix, bro.
Oh shit, what up, man? What's going on?
The Phoenix Suns.
What up, man? Yo, hey, I wanted to get you guys' opinion on something that I've recently learned about. See what you guys think about it. If you've heard of it. So I have a friend who's in school to be an engineer, and he told me about automation. I don't know if you guys have heard about automation. Not like in the sense of music, but in the sense of like
Of it, like
you
in
know,
the
like the
future,
workplace.
threatening jobs and all that. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
real issue, yeah. You hear Bill Gates, he's like kind of forecasting the future as far as automation, like something that we really need to.
So is Mark Cuban.
Yeah, something that, it's going to hit it. The biggest fear about automation, I think, is just that when, the bigger heads in corporate America are going to take advantage of technology as much as they can for profits, but when does that eventually hit a head where it's like, is this good for humans and just the
And what does that
workforce
do
in
to the
general?
economy? What does that do to the economy?
Yeah, exactly.
So,
But
Yeah, because they. My bad. Go ahead.
Nah, keep going.
I was gonna say because like that brought up the question in my head. You know what I mean? Like, so when all the jobs are gone, because that's what they're predicting is that that necessarily robots don't have to be perfect. They just have to be better than humans, and humans make a lot of error. And I was thinking, when all the robots take over or whatever, what are humans going to be left to do? And then they created this idea of
become cyborgs.
Universal, like universal basic income, where it covers basic necessities and fees for everyone to live. And this is like an old concept, actually. You'll see like a lot of philosophers talk about this, like a lot of quotes from back in the day. And I don't know, man. I just thought, because like I was thinking the same aspect as you, man. Human interaction is important. So when there's a bunch of robots taking over the jobs, man, like where's the human interaction going to be? You know what I mean? I feel like it's just going to be so much worse, man, for the population. Like in that sense, but I feel like it's a lot more effective in the sense that they pointed out, like, for example, a lawyer being taken over by a robot versus a human doing lawyer's work.
I don't think
is a lot more effective.
I
There's
think
no way that job
it's
would be
going to
done
take
by
a very
lawyer.
long time for that, as far as professional things such as doctors and lawyers. Versus I think that's going to take a very long time, and I think humans will hang on to that for as long as possible. And I just don't think that we'll want to be. Lawyers hold a lot of weight as far as ruling over other people's fate, literally, if you want to break it down to that. So I think that's going to be the last straw to fall. But I think it's a great point, man. I don't know exactly, but as far as just the workforce and us be given a regular income, it's going to be tough, man.
That's
because
tough to say. You don't know.
That's almost a really crazy form of communism, and it just takes away from competitive drive and stuff like that. And I just don't know how that works, man.
I don't know how that works. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
How's that gonna work? Where's that money
It's
coming
interesting.
from?
So I'll give you a quick understanding of what I read, right? Because it definitely pops up the question right away of communism. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
basically, it's government-funded income that's generated from different taxes, which we already kind of have in place. But basically, what the whole idea of UBI is supposed to do, that's what the acronym of Universal Basic Income is to promote creativity and growth within an individual person. Because if all their basic necessities are met as far as financials go,
Right, like
then
food, shelter, and all.
they still have the ability to go do what they want to do, right? And that always prompts the question of, well, there's going to be people who just want to take advantage of the system, and there's already people doing that now, you know what I'm saying? But
Right.
there's still room to grow if you want to. Like, that's what they're proposing. Like, Mark Zuckerberg has talked about this, Elon Musk,
Yeah.
because they think that that'll boom, like, the next level of entrepreneurship and
It
I guess,
might.
independent, workers who want to take things into their own hands, but they can't because they're constrained in their 9-to-5 jobs, stuff like that. So
This is a
it's
great
an interesting
topic
I don't know how it would
that
work
I
out.
have. Go ahead.
We'll have to do a whole
Yeah,
Gawncast
this is a
on
great
that,
topic
man.
that I just don't have enough knowledge
Yeah, I
on.
want you, yo, man.
Yeah.
I hate to cut you short too. We just had a guest walk in the building, and we're running low on time, so I want to make sure we say
No
what up
doubt,
to
no
him
doubt.
and get a few gems from him. But yo, thanks for calling in, man, because that's
That's
an
a good-
incredible topic
yeah, it
that
really
really
is.
we don't have answers
Yeah,
to.
no
but
doubt,
it's
man.
coming fast.
I don't
and
know
open.
doubt.
anything.
Love what you guys do,
I don't
bro.
know anything about
Yo,
that.
thanks a lot, man. Thanks
Take
for
care,
calling
bro.
No problem. Have a good
Yo,
Yo.
Big Terrance in the building, man.
Hey, what's going
Fooquan.
on?
Yo,
Yo, man.
what's going on, bro? How you been, man?
Everything good, Ken. Everything good, man. I appreciate you welcoming me as a guest. Seriously.
Yo, of course, man. Yo, I'm sorry we didn't get to you earlier because I saw you walking around the phone and that went longer than expected. But
Nah, my apologies. It's one of these things where you try to outsmart the GPS, and to this day I'm working on that invention. So help me out with that. One day I'll figure that one out.
no doubt. Damn, man.
Yeah, what's going on, man? How was
Can
your
never
ride over there?
outsmart GPS.
Yeah. Cuz called me from the Bronx.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm on Westchester Ave. And the first thing I thought was, I think I almost made that mistake one time, too.
Yeah.
I forgot to tell him that it was a
Because
Bronx.
the Westchester Ave is the Bronx. That's what people think of. 100%.
Yeah, it was all right though. I mean, like I said, I put it in my GPS, and it came up Portchester.
Right.
But then, I deferred to when someone tells me to use the Waze app, and I got distracted. And when I seen Westchester Ave, I pushed that button. Unfortunately, that was the Bronx one. So I should have stuck with my vehicle GPS.
My bad.
I don't know. I love Waze, bro.
Big
Yeah,
up
I
to
was
Waze.
trying
No,
to
big
talk
up to
about
him. I mean,
Waze.
it was a type situation where, I'm in 2016, XC90 Volvo, nothing big, but I like to use the creature features.
Yeah.
And, I'm not trying to text and drive, so when I threw it in on the pad joint, it came up Portchester, but then I canceled that out and went with Waze, and it rerouted me. I came from the Jackie Robinson, but it's neither here nor there. I'm here. It's
You
good.
here.
Yeah, so I noticed when my man was talking about the Knicks or whatever and talking about all the trades, looked like something you wanted to say. If you remember, you want to expound on or take it back and say what you was thinking, or I mean, we can move on and talk about some gangster shit.
Oh, well. Yeah, I say we stick to option 2.
Oh shit!
It's
okay.
a Mob Deep episode, baby.
Yeah, but let me formally introduce myself once again. Kenny, I appreciate you having me up here as a guest, man. And I hope all is well with all of the podcast listeners out there and whatnot. And get a little acquainted with who you're gonna be listening to up here. This is Fooquan from Marcy, aka Terrance Baylor, aka the God, aka the God.
Okay.
So what's good? Let's talk this gangster shit.
Oh shit! I didn't think this is ready for that shit.
It's good.
Shit. So you
Questions away, fire away. It's good.
That's all you, man.
It's all me?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I mean, all right. So
I don't need my attorney up here, right? Because, I got to consult with him on, on some of these answers.
Yeah.
No retainer talk.
I wanted to have a conversation before the show, like, all right, what's off limits?
Nah. Ain't nothing off limits right now. We good.
So, let's talk about how you balance the gangster life and the family life. I noticed this is my cuz.
Right.
He got 3 children,
Yeah.
wife. This is the only woman I ever seen him with in my life. I don't,
God bless.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, true that. Thank you.
When I
Appreciate
see them together, the shit is amazing. The way they work like a unit is like, I ain't never, you know what I'm saying? And
Right.
talk about that, the family life and shit. I mean, because I aspire to be like that. I got a newborn. And,
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Goals.
Okay. Well, let me begin. As they say, it takes 2 to tango. So I couldn't have did it without, my queen by my side. Big shout outs to Nick. You listening. If you're not, you're gonna be listening from now on. So, yeah. But in all seriousness, growing up in Marcy, whatnot, you get experience to a lot of things in your community and your surrounding areas. And one of the things that, struck me out, from watching, my neighbors and, people in the neighborhood, you knew who the strong foundation in families was. And that primarily existed when you saw, which I would say, an affluent male figure in the household. Mm-hmm. So with me growing up with that in my mind, I met my wife at a young age, and we started rocking out as best friends. And for all these relationship experts and masterminds, you have to become friends first. You have to be sincere about that.
Wow.
So moving on, to balance it out now, fast forward it, I got a 22-year-old son, 20-year-old son, and a 7-year-old son. And the support that they give me is one of the reasons that I'm allowed to make the decisions in life that I feel won't come back to haunt me or them in any way that can overshadow our future endeavors. So it takes a supporting cast, honesty, loyalty, and one of the things, that's real prevalent is the sacrifice, man. As the male, you got to be, willing to sacrifice it all for the sake of your family if you want to forecast that future. If I answered that question.
Yeah, definitely. So you talk about how you met Nick and Marcy, and what you seen is what shaped what I see when I see you and your family. And what other things in Marcy shape who you are today? What other kind of things, what I'm saying? Let's talk about that.
Okay. Well,
what was life like for you in Marcy?
Well, life like for me in Marcy, like I said, again, not to delve too deep into my years growing up in Marcy, starting at the age of 6. I came to Marcy in 79, I believe it was, 23 Nostrand Avenue. Big shout out to 23 Nostrand, apartment 5D. Yeah, you know me. But serious. Growing up in a home, 2 older brothers. My pop, due to a tragic, unforeseen event, my pops, he was involved in a robbery that went bad, and the perpetrators, they shot him and he lost his sight. So he had to go to Virginia to better himself. Mind you, again, I'm 6 years old. So moving to Marcy and have to experience, a fatherless figure at that time, you leaned on, the brothers in the hood. And at that time growing up, I'm pushing into the 80s now, you had the 5%ers trying to get free reign of the young brothers' minds and their mentality. You had gangs. You know, I don't want to mention various gangs, but if you're from that era, if not, look it up. Gangs were trying to recruit guys and whatnot. So you know, so you adapt to your environment. So I adapted to, you know, the local cats that was, you know, in the building right across, the building right next to. And, you know, we formed what's called, you know, a brotherhood. And out of that various brotherhood, you get different characters who navigate different lanes. So amongst those characters, man, you know, especially growing up in Marcy at that time, you've seen a lot of characters that you could have chosen from, or you could have created a character in your own lane. Some of the characters to choose from was, you know, the booster, the gold chain snatching guy, the guy who had, you know, most of all of the chicks. You know, you had the drug dealer guy. You know, you had the guy that just sat on the bench drunk as 40 all day long. You know, and again, don't forget about the affluent men that navigated the neighborhood, coming home, whether he was in uniform or not, construction or not, they had a job. So I kind of blended a lot of those characters and images, you know, into what I felt, you know, I wanted to do in order to survive in Marcy, if I answered it that way. I ain't mean to give you too much, but
nah, you gave you. Where do I go with that? Okay, so now you growing up, you know what I'm saying? And when did you start thugging?
Okay.
When did you go gangster? Like,
who says I'm gangster now? I'm trying to find gangsterism. Okay. Nah, I'm joking with you.
Okay.
Nah. No, all seriousness, I would say, around the age of 14, 15, like my first year in high school, when I was able to break away from the so-called, quote-unquote, brothers that was the everyday brothers when you came outside. You know how you come outside, you know, everybody goes to that junior high school, and it ain't much you could do when you in junior high school. You still under your parents' reign. But right. You know, when you get in high school, you take on a different set of associates and friends. Mm-hmm. So the thugging came like 14, 15, when, you know, I used to run with cats like Slop. Big up to my man Slop from Marcy. And, you know, he just used to say, you know, when you get out of school, man, come downtown. Because, you know, when you go in high school, you know, your ego is starting. You're trying to build your reputation. Girls think you look good, but you don't think you look good. You want to know exactly how good you look. So you got to put that to the test.
Yeah.
Right. And at that time, the only way to put that to the test was to go downtown on Fulton Street, walk through the mall, and see what you could book. So, you know, having done that, linking up with Slop, he schooled me to the ropes. Then you start seeing, you know, other cats from other different areas, all parts of Brooklyn, New York, whatever, coming into the mall, and everybody's dapping it up. And then you get sort of like this edge, you know? You see the mean mugging, you see the hard dapping, the hard pounds going on, you see the dudes breaking off, you know, probably going to hit a pocket or something. And you just urge for that belongingness, just wanting to belong. You know, so transitioning from the days of, you know, Fulton Street, you know, in the mall, you know, the gangster shit took another toll, you know, because I would have to come back home, go back to the homies that was out there, and then start it all over again.
Right.
Okay. That's cool. Let me know, man. I'll keep going.
Keep going. I mean, you know, keep going.
So, okay, so moving along now in the hood.
Well, what role did, like, hip-hop play as far as you growing up in Marcy? Because we all know who's from Marcy.
Absolutely.
So,
big out to the big homie. Jay, what's good?
So, like, what role did, like, hip-hop play in your life growing up?
It's crazy, man. Big shout out to Tata, too. That's my dude, man. We're going to save that conversation for another time, but that's my boy. I love him, man. And he's one of the reasons why that question you asked is I'm trying to find the right correlation with that.
How old were they when you grew up?
Okay. Well, me and Tata's are roughly the same age. Okay. You know, we in our 40s, and Jay, he's much older than us by maybe 5 or 6 years, but Jay grew up and went to school with my middle brother, Powerful. You know, for the people that don't know, Powerful, and again, like I said, man, when we would come out, growing up in the projects, especially Marcy, and on my side, you couldn't help but sit on the bench and look at each other, whether you liked each other or not. Right. The congregation just started. You know, that's one of the things, man, that I like at that age, is because you didn't have to search and look for nothing to say to be cool. You could just come outside, somebody's throwing a football, we'd play sponge ball, wrestle with the cardboard, ride the bike, do wheelies, and you just spoke from your heart to brothers. You know, it wasn't that much of a ego back then, you know. Right. So, you know,
did being friends with Todd, did he like harvest goals, like where as far as him linking up with Jay, was that just some friendly type of shit, or was it just really some real thought out thing where it's like, all right, we're gonna set these goals, and like how did that kind of develop, or like just from you seeing that from the outside looking in and stuff like that, like I don't know, can you expand on that, or is that?
Yeah, definitely. No, definitely. So I believe they did have goals. Again, what happened, as I recall, growing up in Marcy, everyone, remember, we're talking about a huge transition in hip-hop, and that's to answer your question from before.
I know at that time, for the most part, during them years, hip-hop, rap wasn't even making money like that.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying? No. Rap wasn't even, at that time, rappers was kind of looked at as like, you know, like the clown dudes on TV. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I remember,
for a lot of them times, from what I remember, you know. But I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
No, you good, no.
Jay made that shit like, he just made that look like so cool. I think that was one of the biggest things Jay-Z did on top of just being a dope lyricist. Just make rappers look like giving them glory. And
he did take it there.
You know?
What were you saying?
Yeah, no. From, like I said, from my understanding of the events that went down, I would say this was when, bear with me now, when Biggie Smalls first came out, you could only listen to him on that cassette tape. I'm not too sure if everybody remembers that.
Nah, I remember that shit.
So when the cassette tape came out, you got to think back. Okay, can't recall the age right now. I don't want to go back too far. I just want to keep us abreast. So factoring in where an individual was at in his life when you was able to access that tape, you needed to be behind a vehicle. That's number one. Number two, you had to be upstairs in your crib, an apartment. See, we ain't have what we have right now. We can sit back and enjoy music. So, depending on where you was at, behind the wheel, or in the house, and how your household was laid out, determined your growth into hip hop as it was transitioning.
Right.
So, growing up in Marcy, we was known as hustlers. In and out of town, in and out of state hustling. So now, stay with me. So depending on where you were when that Biggie Smalls came out, you might have been in a rental slinging them things in and out of states. You might have just been doing local pickups and drop-offs in the state. You may have been going uptown, like you said, that McDonald's and whatnot. So depending on where you was at to absorb that Biggie Smalls tape, I'm using that as a reference because to me that transitioned hip hop, and I believe, you know, most of the artists today, if not all of them, they piggybacked on that. So again, as I recall it, you know, so my recollection is that what Jay said is the truth. He was doing it. He was really, really doing it to the point where I don't know where he was at in his life, but he'll tell you in most of his albums, if you go back and listen to him, when that transition came and that opportunity opened up, it was easy to take off the gloves and take off the clothes. Like he told you, you step inside the booth, Superman is alive. Like it's a meaning to that, from my understanding. So transitioning from what the hoopla was about, this guy voice, which many of us have never seen him at that particular time or could visualize him, an intelligent thinker would say, hey, wait a minute. If this is going to be the new wave that's gotten everybody hyped behind their wheel, then let me go to the studio and say some of the things that he's saying. Tell some of my stories, since I'm the one that's in and out of town, in and around town, with pockets full of money, if I could put it that way.
Yeah. Before that, he was probably talking some other, the random hip hop style or whatever, huh? Or
right.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Right,
how you say how he made it look that way, because I remember the transition to hip hop where it became a point where that's what it turned into.
Right.
How, you know what I'm saying? And it was
Right.
Jay, and I remember the times, like, I think I might have talked about this before, but I remember, like, I was younger back then. They used to have bus trips and shit where the whole projects get together and just go to VA or go somewhere, you know what I'm saying? And all the drug dealer niggas that we knew, because them niggas was fly. They had bitches, chains, all the clothes. When they be in the back of the bus, they be playing that shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It be that new Nas or that new Biggie.
Right.
And it just turned into that lifestyle in New York.
Right.
And once Jay dropped, that shit was, he basically put the stamp on that shit, because it was him. Everybody else,
Right.
it was kind of like, but when Jay did it, it was like, or at least that's what it felt like. It was like, yeah, this nigga,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? But
Right.
That's dope, man. Like, as far as, like, I'm sure, you hear Jay shout out people at the end of songs and stuff, and just the fact that you personally know people, that's just got to bring you somewhere on a record. But you probably,
you hear shit that you know about.
You probably hear shit that no one hears, like,
Yeah, you probably hear shit that.
You have
Yo, you know what's
insight
crazy?
that not a lot
I
of
was at
people
this.
that not a lot of people are privy to.
yeah.
Yeah,
Insight of.
I was at. I'm sorry, I didn't cut you off. I was at this nigga house one time, and yo, he was on a PlayStation 3, just pulling up some pictures. He was with Jay and them niggas somewhere in London or some shit. And this nigga pulling up pictures like, yeah, this shit. And I'm like, oh shit, that's Jay Electronica. And this nigga looking at the shit like, who the fuck is that? What? Like, he in your picture, dog. He didn't even know who these niggas was. I'm like, yo, you don't know these niggas? Oh, that shit was crazy.
Yeah,
and I'm just looking on this place. Nigga, that's Jay Electronica. That's Jay calling all these niggas. This nigga like, who? Oh yeah, I remember, homie. He was there. I'm like, yeah, all right.
Yeah. Yeah, but things is cool though, man. Again, balancing that situation, man. It's tough, man. It's tough, man. Especially coming from Marcy, man. Like, enough be said, man. Jay tell a lot of stories about, coming up out of Marcy, and it was a hell of a struggle, man, for a young black man to really, come from what.
Yo, much respect to what you do, man. Because honestly, we always hear the hustle story that gets glorified and everything,
Definitely.
That gets all the hype. But to someone like that came up from the same background, but yet you raising your family and you doing it off honest living, you doing it off working hard and everything like that. They ain't make movies about that shit, but that shit is not to be overlooked. That shit is to be highly respected, man. And you know what I mean?
I appreciate that. No, I appreciate that to the utmost, because again, for me, it wasn't an easy road as well. Like I say, being honest, being loyal to yourself, making sacrifices for your family, trying to do right for others, try to get others in positions so they can help others. You seem to take on some tasks that's really out of your league.
Right.
But, you know, without sacrifice, you're pretty much not going to get nowhere in life that you can really enjoy. You know, so I appreciate that too, man. Yeah, big ups to myself, man. You know.
Yeah, man, you do a great job.
Yeah, no, I do a hell of a job, man. You're right. The books don't get written, and you know the stories don't get told. You know, cats like us, we do what we can. You know, we bond with each other. You know, we analyze situations. You know, we take precaution.
Right.
That seems to get overshadowed. You know, and maybe for obvious reasons. You know, because, you know, a lot comes with the territory now. I can tell you that. Yeah. A lot definitely comes with the territory. And, you know, I'm up for the challenge. You know, I know you guys is up for it. Yeah. You know, but that's what we're looking forward to, man. This thing ain't over. You know, we got a lot of work to do. You know, we got a lot of stuff cut out for us. And, you know, we got a lot of support that you have to lean on, you know, and that's one of the things that I wanted to comment on too, balancing that gangster style life. Because as a gangster, we always was taught, and you know, the Jews go is that you know you kind of gotta be incognito with a lot of things, but with the gangsters of the past and the hustlers of the past, where I feel went wrong at is because they took that secret silent code into a industry where that's non-existent right now. You have to lean on people for support. You're no longer looked at as the man. You no longer run things. You know, you could be the owner of a hedge fund or, you know, corporation, but you still need that accountant. You know, you still need somebody to make sure the payroll is right. So I hope I don't go too far off that joint.
Alright, man. Yeah, that's good to me, man. You ever think on like, I don't know, putting all your stories, you ever document it in any type of way? Just as far as like writing it down or ever?
Well, there's something that I do. You know, my cousin, he's in Indianapolis. What we do is we like what we doing now. He's a fantastic artist, and you know, the next time I'll bring some of his artwork so you can see and visualize what I'm talking about. A lot of this stuff is written down, and not only is it written down and documented, it's drawn upon. Like he drew characters with some of the stories that you know that we share. It's dope, man. It's a fascinating thing.
That's dope, man. Yo, would you be willing to come back on again and like?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Listen, again, lean on your support, and I'm here to support you guys in whatever way I can.
Right.
And that's not a problem.
Dope. Appreciate you, man.
I appreciate you guys too.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
Yeah, man. Fucking thanks for coming on, man.
Yeah.
No doubt, appreciate it.
Damn, I'm sure you got so many stories just vividly in detail and stuff like that. But maybe next time you come on, you could, you know, maybe drop some stories without going too crazy into certain things.
Yeah.
Oh, no doubt. I mean,
I set together and just, you know what I mean? Come
Yeah.
wreck shop like you know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Oh, listen. Each one teach one. You know, that's how. Again, that's how I grew up back in them days. And like I said, you know, big shout outs to the 5%ers, man. I can't say enough about them guys.
Yeah.
You know, they don't get recognized. You know, like, let me tell you a quick story right quick.
Yeah.
When I was trying to get you the coordinates where I was at in the Bronx an hour ago, I asked them, yo, do you see the Israelites over there? I saw the Israelites. You know, they was really on the corner, and I haven't seen that since the days of downtown on Fulton Street. But because of the fact that the 5%ers was willing to go out there and educate the young brothers, you know, not against tyranny or none of that, just of knowledge of self.
Right.
You know what I mean? That goes a long way. Not necessarily you got to be with what some person is teaching.
Right.
It's just the common courtesy to hold dialogue, conversation with youths on the street, female, male alike, you know. Get them to understand what knowledge of self is.
Right.
And that way we all could have a easier transition into this world that we trying to figure out.
Yo, when you come back on, I want you to kind of break that down in more detail, because a lot of us, you know, I kind of know what it is, but I don't really know. Anything. You know, so just, you know.
You can live vicariously through me. It's not a problem.
When I was young, that shit to me, that shit used to be fly. I didn't know about it, but I used to see the Israelites, and it was always positive, right? Then I used to hear everybody, yo, word, knowledge, God, knowledge, boy. And I used to be like, yo, that shit is ill. I never understood what that shit was, but I used to be like, yeah, I'm down, nigga. I'm down with that shit. I listen to, like, Raekwon and them niggas or something, and I listen to, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Oh, there you go. Big shout outs to Wu-Tang. See, there you go.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not sounding like no OG up here, but, you know, I'm trying to bring reference to what I'm trying to talk about.
Exactly.
I talk about what I experienced and what I have a wide knowledge and variety. I'm not just going to talk off the top.
We'll do it properly. We'll talk more about your life story and stories that you witnessed, 5%ers, and also if you have any Jay stories. Like, I didn't want to make it just about Jay, but when you talk about Marcy projects and, you know, we all do music, it's something we're all interested in naturally. So, you know, we'll touch on all of that, and we'll have a full episode dedicated to that. So that
Bleak too.
Appreciate it, definitely.
Who else from Marcy?
Tata. It's a few of us.
Yeah.
It's a few of us. But like you say, next segment or another segment, I'll go into full disclosure of any questions you ask.
Yo,
dope.
Absolutely. That way I can
That'd be dope.
Yeah.
I go back and listen to Jay's shit from the beginning to the end, and then ask you
Yo,
questions.
what was that?
Like
When
on
he
this
said that
song
right
in
there?
24.
Yeah.
You know,
Like, hold on, what is this?
his second verse and but
Are we about to end it right now?
Yeah.
I just wanted everyone to know that there was 464 earthquakes in 1 week that hit near Yellowstone.
And
just wanted everyone to know that.
I wanted to give a shout out to Still and Veg. Veg called me right before I walked in here. They was doing a radio show in the city tonight somewhere. I told them I'd give them a shout. But shout out to them cats.
Yo, absolutely, bro. Shout out to Gypsy, always holding it down. As
Peace, Gypsy.
Zips.
We gone.
We gone.
That's right. Feel it, baby. Yes. Another day, another dollar. It's about getting money.